Hi, I'm Tom Scarpello of Revology Cars, and this is car number 339, a 1969 Boss 429 in black jade metallic with black Napa leather interior. Today I'm going to take you on a walk around of this car, and we're going to go for a drive. Let's get started. All right, 1969 Boss 429, this is it. The first production Boss 429, really exciting, really proud of it. Great car, can't wait to tell you about it. So first of all, exterior appearance. Really very, very close to the original. At the front, everything is as it was in 1969, with the exception of the lighting, which of course on all Revologys is LED. You can't tell in the daytime, but you can certainly tell at night. Another detail, the hood scoop is non-functional on our Boss. Because we're using a supercharged engine, the intake is over here near the fender, not here on top of the engine. It's a really nice scoop. We designed it and we built it in-house. It's carbon fiber composite, but it is non-functional. At the side of the car, really identical to how the original car was built, except the wheels are larger to house the modern four-wheel disc brakes. They still use the Magnum 500 design, but this is a 17 by 9.5, which allows us to fit a 275 section width tire. Boss 429 decal on the fender. Really, the hood scoop and the decal is the only tip-off that this is not just another Mustang fastback. And that's how it was in 1969. The design of the 69 Boss 429 was very subtle. It was very business-like. It was really all about the engine and not so much about the exterior appearance. At the back, our 69 Boss is identical to the original, with the exception, of course, of the LED lighting. The tail lamps, as they are on our earlier models, are sequential, and the exhaust tips are turned down tips. Of course, ours are polished. Other tip-offs that you're not looking at an original Boss, of course, like all Revology Mustangs, we use polyurethane bonded glass, and you'll see that ceramic frit there that hides the flange where the glass is bonded to the body. You know, that improves safety and it increases the rigidity of the body, so it's a nice feature. You have to look closely to notice it. The other thing that if you're hawk-eyed, you'll notice, no key cylinder on the passenger side, of course, because we have remote keyless entry. You still have a key cylinder on the driver's side in case your battery dies and you need to get inside the car. The last thing is no antenna mast, because we use a powered antenna. It's not necessary to have the mast. So we've cleaned up the exterior appearance, but kept the details, so it's still very much authentic, and you'd be hard pressed to distinguish it from an original Boss 429. So we have several Boss 429s that are in production, and they're going to be coming out. We're going to be doing videos in each one. So today I'm going to focus on one particular aspect of the Boss 429, and that is haptics and ergonomics. So don't go away. This is actually pretty interesting. So haptics are how things feel, and ergonomics deal with the driver and machine interface. It's how you interface with the vehicle. Haptics can give a lot of signals to you when you're interacting with a product. How does it feel? And on a car, the first thing that you interact with physically is the door handle. So as we did on our 1967 and 68 Mustangs, we've completely redesigned this system. The entire closure, in fact, for the door has been redesigned for the 69 Boss. And that way you get this really precise feel when you go to open the door. It comes open quietly. You don't get that squeaky hinge sound that you got back in the 1960s. So you all of a sudden kind of realize, wow, this is something different, you know? And if you close the door, you get that solid thunk, which, you know, really signals quality. So that's the first interface that you get. The next thing, of course, is you sit down inside the car, and the feel of the seat is very important. It has to feel supportive, but it also has to be comfortable. And that's a tall order for a seat, you know, to give you support in aggressive driving maneuvers, but to also give you comfort if you're on a long trip. And we've completely redesigned the seats for the Boss. In fact, we liked the seats so much that we brought it into our 67 and 68 models even before we launched these seats in the Boss. But you see the design, it's a high back design, looks very much like the original Boss seat, but has the comfort, the support, the adjustability of a modern seat. So that's the second thing. The third thing is, you grab the steering wheel, and this is what you're interfacing with all the time when you're driving the car. So we thought it was really, really important just to do a fantastic job on the wheel. We really spent a lot of time and effort to design a wheel that captures the aesthetic of the original, but gives you the feel of a modern wheel. And in a car with this kind of performance capability, you get a lot of feedback through the wheel, and it needs to be able to transmit that feedback to you in a confident way. And this really does. So, your initial impression, I'm comfortable, I'm supported in the seat, the steering wheel feels great in my hand. I've got my T-handle shifter here, which is exactly where it needs to be. This is the ergonomic thing. And my pedals are right where I want them. I don't have to scrunch up my foot. Everything is just exactly where it needs to be. I can see everything, I can operate everything. That is so important. And easier said than done when you're doing something like what we do in the redesign, the re-engineering of our cars from the original 1960s platform, because literally everything's changed. The seat is different, the seat platform is different, how it mounts is different, the pedals are different. We have an electronic throttle pedal. That assembly has to be used as an assembly, but it mounts completely differently in the car that it was designed for than it does for us. So we have to redesign the mounting completely. We redesigned the pedal mounting for the brake. In the manual transmission cars, the clutch has a different geometry. So literally everything is completely different. Therefore, you have to go to that level of detail just to make sure that everything works well with everything else. And the team's just done a phenomenal job on the ergonomics of this car. The first time I drove it, I was just amazed at how comfortable I felt immediately. Just get in the car, everything is where I want it to be. I felt comfortable. I can just drive for hours. So it's really remarkable, really a significant leap forward for us and really for the Boss 429. I mean, that car is a memory. It's an icon, but we're reinventing it. We're really reimagining it for today and kind of making it relevant again, I think, for today and to be able to use in today's environment. So much to talk about in the Boss. We'll have to pick the rest of it up on a different video, but for now, let's go for a ride. So here we are driving the Boss 429. Some of you might have noticed this car is equipped with an automatic transmission. It's the 410R80, 10-speed automatic. Of course, the original Boss 429 was only available with a 4-speed manual. So why would you get an automatic in your Boss? Well, if you live in a city with a lot of traffic and you plan to drive the car, it makes sense. And this is such a competent automatic. You don't give up any performance. It's not like it used to be in the old days. It's a pretty popular choice. I'd say overall, all Revology builds, maybe 50% are manual, 50% automatic. Tends to go maybe a little higher manual on the Shelbys, and the Boss 429 to date, I think, skews a little bit more manual, but still, automatic's pretty popular. This video is supposed to be about ergonomics. I described at the beginning before we set off just how important it is that all these systems work together. The vehicle integration is what that is called, and that is as much art as science. A car can be tuned a lot of different ways. Certain cars just work well. Other ones don't work so well. Maybe they have good numbers on paper, but the subjective aspect of it may not really deliver the same sort of feeling of comfort. That feeling you get when you put on your favorite pair of jeans where it just fits, and it just feels right. That's what good ergonomics feels like. It just feels right. It's like you just feel connected to the vehicle. It's subjective as much as it is objective. I mean, you got to get the dimensions right, like the H point and kind of all the distances have to be right, but there's more to it than that. It's a little more subtle. So as I said earlier, I just think the team did a phenomenal job on ergonomics. The car just feels really, really good. So haptics and ergonomics, a couple words that are not that exciting maybe, but really make the difference between a car that just looks good and a car that you really enjoy driving. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort by a lot of people to get this car to this point, but boy, it's really worth it. You know, if you're just building a hot rod that you're gonna trailer to car shows, maybe it doesn't matter, but if you actually intend to drive the vehicle, it makes all the difference in the world. And this car, it's just really remarkably easy to drive, very comfortable, really, really nice execution. I just think the team did a super job. Thanks for watching.